What is up, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I think a lot of people that play Tactics Ogre don't realize or don't utilize the power of non-human classes or non-human units. And I want to talk about a few of them that really stand out to me that I've been using a lot lately, and I think they are so darn strong. And the fact that I kind of neglected them for the first, 70% of the game, makes me feel silly. Makes me feel like a crazy guy. So here are three classes that I think they're non-human. I think you should get them and use them as soon as you can. So what am I talking about? Well, the first one, we're talking about the Juggernaut. Now, the Juggernaut is a non-human class. It doesn't have to be a lizard. It can be an orc if you want it to be. But it is so good. The Juggernaut is basically the best word to describe it is a tanky boy that can be tanky, that has access to some crazy skills that other, human-like tanky units don't get. We get Threaten, which silences enemies within one tile and reduces their MP by 25% of max. So not only do you get a silence off, but say they have 100 out of their 200 MP, you just took it down to 75 now. So now they can't do their special, or their finisher, or their attack, their magic, their skill, whatever. Super, super good, that added effect. Imagine if silence did that. If you silenced and took away MP. Dude, silence would be nuts. And then, we also have my other favorite skill, which is, it's over there, I can't get to it, check. Check with stop. Stop is great. Stop an enemy, they just literally can't, they don't have RT, they don't gain RT, they can't do anything, so super good, super useful. Having this guy on the front line with Siege, which stops enemies from moving past, gives them Rampart Aura. Or no, shoot. Hold on, I just said that wrong, don't listen to me. Aw, never mind. I was gonna say with Rampart Aura. Okay, well we got Siege, which makes us immune to Rampart Aura, so we can get through stuff, which is perfectly fine. I was gonna say, if I get the icon mixed up. For it. I was gonna say, if you have Rampart Aura, like you just sit there and like everything gets hit by that because they can't get past you really easily, But no, Siege is great too, because Siege gets you to get through units, to push, to get to the back line, and then maybe hit these guys. Because really, silencing like a frontline unit's kind of silly, So Threaten really has value if you can get it to proc on enemy casters, but they're just so good. And even Intimidate, remove a skill condition from an enemy unit within 2 tiles. Probably, if I was going to be honest, I'd probably take off Stop and put on Intimidate. Because the value in Intimidate is it removes readied skills. A readied skill is any skill that's an auto skill that you may activate. So, if a Rune Fencer activates, free MP Meditate, this could remove that. If, a Wizard activates Concentration, any skill that's a readied skill, this will remove. But see, you have to be within 2 tiles of the enemy. But this is super cool because you can take away any readied skill in the game. So that's probably a little bit better than I could take off Siege though and then put Check. That'd be insane. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do all 3. I think that's the way to go. I think. I'm still experimenting with these guys. They're still fairly new. I've only got to use them for 10 to 20 battles. I haven't had them forever. So I'm still trying to find amazing builds and the perfect combo setups. But I feel Juggernaut is one you should definitely look into getting. It's super good. Now, probably my favorite so far out of a few of the new non-human, they're not new, but a few of the non-human classes I have that you can't get and why I'm trying to advocate for non-human classes is the Matriarch. The Matriarch is basically a wizard with defensive options. And by defensive options, I mean you have skills like Ivory Tower, which causes the target to evade up to the next 2 physical attacks. So if you do get pushed by enemy units, and they're in melee range and they're going to smack you with their weapons, if this procs, which you hope it does, you have a good chance not to get hit by that. And then, this one's also good, Grant Negate, which can be useful, but I find Ivory Tower to be the kind of bread and butter, and then I just run Concentration for Spell Strike. Irresistible Beauty is, I don't know, that's kind of silly. But Negate's also good, which could be... Why don't I have Negate on you, actually? I'd rather have Negate. Yeah, see, why did I mess? I gave the other one Spell. Whatever. Anyway, I feel like this is a good setup for it, and I do like the defensive options it has. Sure, we don't have the reduced RT that we can get from the Wizard and stuff, but I like the fact that you're not tweaking out, you're not worried if you get pushed by physical melee units you have options. And even you have options to protect yourself from ranged casters. Now do keep in mind that negate will affect healing magic. So if this procs and you need to heal the unit with like heal 3 or 4 or whatever, it's going to negate it. So that kind of sucks. But other than that, I really like the Matriarch. I think it's a hugely underrated class to some extent because people put a lot of stock once you start getting like, you know, liches and necromancers and shamans and songstress, and you get a lot of other casters. You're probably not going to think about a Matriarch anymore, which is kind of sad because I think the Matriarch is a huge upgrade from the Wizard. Even though it is missing a couple of the key skills, I would run it over a Wizard 9 times out of 10. And last but not least, one of the other classes I think that is kind of underrated, that's a non-human, is the Hopllite. The Hopllite, to me, is an insane 1v1 unit. It's very good against bosses. It's very good against any unit that's, you know, any frontline unit, I guess, but it really excels against bosses. And the reasons why I say that is, one, it has evade, which allows them to completely avoid the next physical attack. You have apostate, render unit immune to up to 2 magic effects until next turn. So, you know, any kind of casting that's going to befall you on the front line, you are immune to that. AoE attacks, whatever. The birds are just, they are for it. They are, oh my goodness, they are just, I can't keep them under control. They're losing their minds. There we go. We had to wave the finger at them. And then we have the Rapier Glance, which Stop is also, you know, it's good. Stop's good. I like Stop. I don't know if people kind of think Stop's a little silly. I'm still trying to get my, you know, get around to using it more because a lot of the passive Stop skills are only 1 tile, which makes sense, but, you know, you gotta get that lucky proc while you're in the middle of combat. And, you know, they can use spears, and I love spears, so that makes them great as well. But they are just such a good 1v1er. They're such a good bosser, if we want to call bosser a thing in this game. They're very solid. I think Hopllite is right up there. It's not as great, I don't think, as Matriarch or Juggernaut, but I think it's still amazingly good. And I know there's a lot of other classes I didn't mention that are just as good. You know, we got our pumpkin heads, we got, you know, there's a lot more other non-human classes that I didn't talk about. I'm not saying those are bad. These are just 3 non-human classes I've been using a lot that I've been finding a lot of value, a lot of usefulness in. I've been finding that they perform very well in battles, and I just wanted to kind of talk about them and let people know. So hopefully, if you don't use these classes, or you have no intention to, maybe you will. Or if you already know about them and you don't think they're that good because you're just so good that you have way better options, then hey, that is what it is. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think the Hopllite, the Matriarch, and the Juggernaut are worthwhile throughout the whole game? Or are they kind of a gimmick and then eventually you're just going to replace them with better classes later on? I would love to hear your guys' input and feedback. And again, I thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Until then, later guys. Have a good one. Peace out.